welcome back to Israel with Aline. Today we are on a very blessed day. Why? Because we are witnessing rain in the desert. We are now in the Judean desert, and we came here today to show you one of the most impressive and dangerous phenomena of this place. We are going to see rivers reborn in the middle of the desert. So if you are ready, let's get started. Here, 3,000 years ago, it was the people of Israel who lived. Israel, more specifically this area, was part of the territory of the tribe of Judah and is mentioned in the city of Palms with the sons of Judah, to the city of Palms with the sons of Judah, to the desert of Judah, which is south of Arad. And they went and lived with the people. And we know these cities to this day. Arad is not Jericho, it is also here in the Judean desert. But it is Jericho, it is also here in the Judean desert. But despite the Judean desert being part of the Promised Land, this is an extremely difficult territory to live in. Temperatures here easily exceed 40 degrees in the summer, and it rains less than 3.937 inches per year. But now, to explore this amazing region, we are going to travel through it by jeep. In this desert, there are many biblical and historical sites, such as Jericho, the oldest city in the world, a fortress on top of a mountain, in the middle of a fortress on top of a mountain, in the middle of the desert, built 2,000 years ago by King Herod. The famous Dead Sea Scrolls were found, the oldest version of the Bible ever found. And the oasis of En-Gedi, which is a spring of pure, sweet water in the middle of the desert, and which is also known for being one of the places where King David hid when he was fleeing from King Saul. And so many other places that are here, some of which we have already made videos about on the channel. But today we are going to see a phenomenon that very few people have the privilege of witnessing, which are the desert storms. And how do they occur? Here, the soil can't absorb the water, and that's why the water starts to run over the ground, forming small streams. And these streams keep joining and growing more and more. And that's how rivers and even waterfalls are born here in the desert. And today we are going to see one of these flash floods here in the desert, and also show what its connection is with some passages from the Bible. But for now, folks, to get there, we're going to keep traveling through the desert. Folks, I'm leaving the boys here in the jeeps and I'm moving away into the desert because I want to show you something fantastic. When we're here in the desert and we remember that we're in the Judean desert and that the tribe of Judah lived here over 3,000 years ago, how did they live here in the middle of the desert? What water did they drink? And now you already know that there are storms here in the desert. A few days a year, water runs here and we are seeing it. Do you see this little stream, folks? Folks, now how are they going to drink water all year round from this little stream and divert it into cisterns? And here is one of them. And we can see the amount of day it belongs to the Bedouins who They are nomads who live here in the desert, but they use many of the same techniques that were used here since biblical times. And guys, I don't know if you're seeing this, it's raining now. It's raining in the middle of the desert. Indeed, today is a very special day to be here and very blessed to show you all. Let me check the column and I'll show it to you. Let me check the column. And I want to take this opportunity to invite you to participate in one of the Israel caravans with Aline. Aline, we just opened new dates and you can see all the information and while we continue on our adventure. And now folks, we finally arrived. I am here with Shlomi. Shlomi Lubaton, we finally arrived. I am here with Shlomi. Shlomi Lubaton is
back. Thank you. I love you all. So folks, let's now get out of the Jeep because for this,
Folks, let's now get out of the Jeep because for this adventure, we really have to be on foot. And you have no idea what's already happening here.
Come on, Aline, come. Look, folks, see? The desert river. Look how beautiful. Look how amazing. Jellyfish, wow, 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 wow.
We are seeing an incredible phenomenon. Seeing the sun just came out, the blue sky, and seeing the sun just came out, the blue sky, and at the same time behind me, there is a gigantic storm coming. This phenomenon is called in Hebrew Chitafon, which are floods, lightning. What happens is that in the mountain region, for example, the mountains of Jerusalem or the Arar region, it rains and this rain gathers, and it creates rivers with waterfalls and gathers, and it creates rivers with waterfalls and they end up in the Dead Sea. And this phenomenon, it can be beautiful, but also very dangerous. Why? Imagine one day you are here in the desert, the blue sun. The day is beautiful. People are here strolling and suddenly, without seeing and hearing anything, the river starts out of nowhere. And the river can sweep away anyone who is walking within its bed. Here the bed is narrow, but there are points where the bed can be more than 109 yards. And because of this, unfortunately, unsuspecting people who sometimes, even people who are from here, who should know, sometimes even people who are from here who should know, they do end up having accidents. We had a great tragedy that happened here in the region in 2018 on the Safet River, when a high school was taking a tour here in the region, and 10 children were swept away and died in one of these storms. 10 dead and more than 35 injured. So really, this is one of the tragedies that happened here, and practically every year lives are lost. So folks, when you come to visit Israel and also other places in the world, always pay attention to the local news so as not to take risks. But is this phenomenon new? No. This phenomenon has existed since biblical times. We can also see this in the passage from the second book of Kings. When 3 kings were here in the region, the king of Judah, the king of Israel, and the king of Edom, they joined together to fight against the king of Moab. Look at the map now, folks. So the 3 kings, they come to the desert and they are here. The soldiers along with the kings and their animals for 7 days in the desert without water. And they really start to get desperate because water is life. And the following is written in the Bible. And the king of Israel, the king of Judah, and the king of Edom set out, and they made a roundabout march of 7 days. And there was no water for the army, nor for the cattle that followed them. Then the king of Israel said, Alas, the Lord has called these 3 kings to deliver them into the hand of the Moabites. And then the kings wonder what to do, and they go to Elisha, the prophet. And he says the following, and said, "Thus says the Lord, make many ditches in this valley, for thus says the Lord, you shall not see wind, nor shall you see rain. Yet this valley will be filled with so much water that you, your cattle, and your animals will drink. And this is still a small thing in the eyes of the Lord. He will also deliver the Moabites into your hands." He talks about a lot of water that is going to arrive in the region, enough water for all the soldiers and their animals, and they won't see or hear it coming. Elisu tells them that the water will arrive through a Chitafon, and these Chitafonotes exist here to this day. And now we are going to take advantage of the fact that we brought our drone, go up and follow the river and see where it goes. We look like the little dots seen from above, but now we are going to follow the river. I'm terrified of hitting the drone on one of these rocks and knocking it down and it being carried away by the river. But look at the incredible view we have from here. And here we already see the waterfalls. Look at the strength of this phenomenon that is beautiful and frightening, because water in the desert is capable of bringing life but also destruction. It's impressive to see the strength of the water. It must even be hard to hear me with all the water noise here. I want to touch it, but folks, we here on the channel don't take risks, and that's why I'm not going to get to this part, because here the risk is to touch and be carried away. But we can see here on the other side a small stream that joins the main river, and here we can touch. The water is cold. We are literally touching the desert water. And this here is the source of life of the present times and also of the biblical times. And see that the river waters are intensifying more and more. And to think that a few hours ago this place was completely dry. But the images that I'm going to show you now are the most shocking of the day. And we are seeing the exact moment that the river in the desert is reborn. See that the sky is completely blue. We can't see or hear the storm, but the water is coming here exactly as the prophet Elisha tells the kings. And now we can see why this phenomenon is so dangerous. Because sometimes people are walking, traveling within the riverbeds, or sometimes they don't even know it's a riverbed and the river can pass and sweep them away. And also the second reason, because there are often irresponsible people who stay close without understanding the force of this phenomenon. I hope you enjoyed our somewhat different day here in the Judean desert water storm. And I want to thank Shlomilu Baton for having us brought here. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
As we say in Hebrew, Toda Haba. Follow Shlomilu Bat on social media if you'd like, folks.
Instagram.
The website, everything is here on the screen for you to follow. Lots of different things about Israel and
the channels. Let's see a different Israel in nature.
So nature in Israel with Shlomi. A big kiss and see you next time.
Thank you.